back to the Freak Show. Bumpy Big Squiggums here. I want to thank you all for joining me as I continue with my Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity, the White March.
Indeed.
We have Encantha. I have no idea if that's how you say her name, but either way, she sucks, and, well, she also eats people. So there's a big group of yummy, tasty food for her over there. Alright, small group, 3 people. And we're going to go clear the rest of the, we'll say, graveyard. The Heritage Hill area, if you want to call it something. Out and finish up all the undeadlings, and then we'll have the people escape, assuming that they don't just get eaten or killed by something else, or like she stops us from doing this. That is also a very, very real possibility. I think we're fine right now. Probably should be sneaking,
We'll keep to ourselves.
all things considered.
Hey, of course.
Is it really just the one? That seems silly. And what does he hope to accomplish? You know, I will say they do a fairly decent amount of damage against just me. Like, I don't stack up very well against these guys. I am not very deflective. I suppose that has to do with me having no shield. Still.
My thoughts will be as silent as my feet.
Okay. I still like my version of it. That your thoughts will be as silent as your farts, but you know, it's fine. It's okay. Yours a little less humorous, a little bit more, yeah.
Hey.
Everybody do killing. I feel like there's not really
Onward.
a lot of worry here, as we are kind of insta-gibbing most of these guys,
I shall.
if not quite literally all of them. So looking now, it's just the path to the left over here.
I shall be discreet.
Should probably be slightly more concerned with whatever's to come. There's bound to be something nasty somewhere that may give us some level of challenge. But again, I tended to do things a bit more difficult off and around and doing stuff, as opposed to just going directly in and doing the obvious missions, the obvious areas and places that we could go. So while, yeah, I may have struggled and I definitely had some bad moves and some questionable outcomes, I feel like it set us up for success, moreover. We'll see, though. We'll see. Like I said, I could be completely wrong. Like, maybe this is always easy. I don't know. I feel like this is overly easy at this point, which is good. Like, I like games where I can go do stuff and then come back and be stronger than the area I was in before. That's why a lot of people really like games that scale with you as you level up and do stuff. So, like, say you were in the same situation here and the game was scaling. Tons of people love that because it's just like, oh, well, the game's always at that normal difficulty level. The default or planned difficulty. And while, you know, sure, that can be fun, it's also not always. Oh boy, that is a very large amount of nasty, horrible things coming my way. Alright, I'm going to try to do some cool stuff here. I'm also going to be highly doubtful that cool stuff is going to be what goes down. Okay, so we're here. We are going to cast Sunbeam, probably? It'll probably do a pretty sizable chunk of damage. I'm going to have her just start shooting the wizard. I feel like concussive missiles is probably going to do a significant amount of damage. And why don't we do this bolt of love here? Have you focus on him. And Itumak, you're going to go up after him as well. Okay, so that kind of worked out. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go full bore. I I think I could probably just do the book smacking here. And probably can melt your face, if I'm being honest. Who has the shade gloves? Wait. What's 1 per rest? That's up to 5 times? Is that up to 5 times? I don't remember. There was something I had somewhere that was up to 5 times. What in the world was it? That just says 1 per rest. I know I gave something to somebody, darn it. I don't remember. Oh, it was this, right? Yeah, this has a total of... No? Oh, that's a total of 4 charges remaining. Rot skulls. Okay. I thought it... Well, I don't know what's happening. It's fine. He's paralyzed. Why is he paralyzed again? We don't know.
What?
Get him, Tumak. Am I doing okay? I feel like I'm kind of getting beat down a little bit here. Alright, let's go ahead and do this again.
Hey.
There we go. Well done, Itumak, getting there a day late and $1 short. It's fine. It's totally okay. I mean, there sure was a lot of enemies. But, meh. He knocked down, he going down. He down. Well, there we go. That was pretty easy. Sure, there was a little bit of pain.
I shall.
There was a little bit of paralyzation. I mean, yeah, some paralysis here and there. Not the worst thing in the world. Definitely not the best. Overall, I feel pretty happy with the outcome there. Oh, look at that. So many potions and things that I absolutely do not use. The massive stone door to the tower is sealed, and there doesn't appear to be a way of opening it. Oh, well, that's probably not great. Well, I guess we could rest. Meh. They're just gonna have the free camping supplies laying around. Might as well take advantage of those. Yep, we're gonna head on over to the mausoleum for our souls, and yeah, it's gonna be fine.
They shall see nothing while I see.
Uh-huh.
They shall see nothing while I see much.
Hey, we found Saeda.
Something here calls to me.
An iridescent scarab figurine. What does that do? It summons an Adra beetle. That's pretty cool. Well, it's looking like we're getting quite a few summonings across the board here. I don't mind that. What's up, Saeda? A little girl cowers in the back of the tomb. Her face is streaked with dirt, and even in the shadows, you can tell she's far too thin. She watches you, holding her breath. It's alright, you're safe. Is this what you kids do for fun these days? It's alright, you're safe. She inches into the candlelight. Her clothes are a little more than filthy rags now, but ripped and stained fabric look like embroidered silk, okay? You have to be quiet. Noise brings the hungry people. If she's afraid of hungry people, maybe I should step outside. My name is Saeda. Are you hiding from them too? She watches the door of the vault, her eyes wide and careful. You're Saeda? I came across some dargles in a house. Who are the hungry people? She whispers and her eyes are round with terror. The ones outside, they don't sleep or die, but they eat. Tell me what happened to you. Her eyes take on a distant look. Her legs start to tremble. You're frightened and you've been stuck here for too long, but try to remember what's happened before. She takes a deep breath and stares at the stone floor. There was a big noise and a light in the sky. Everyone thought it was a storm, but then people started waking up. After they died, I mean. She twists her shredded sleeve into knots. Mother and father and Emilio boarded up the door, but the hungry people found our house. Her fidgeting becomes more agitated. They fought, but the hungry people always get up again. They broke through the door, and Mother told me to hide. And then I came here to hide, but the door got stuck, and I didn't know when it would be safe to go outside. Where's your family? At the house, Mother told me to hide and not let anyone in. Then I heard a lot of noise, fighting and yelling. Her eyes glaze over, and then Mother told me to open the door again, but she didn't sound right. Well, I came across some dargles in the house. The girl's eyes widen. You saw Mother and Father and Emilio? How did you get away? Those aren't your parents anymore. She picks out a thumbnail watching you. She nods slowly. You need to get out of here. Is it safe? Are the hungry people out there? It's still dangerous, but the path to the main gate should be clear. Run for it. I won't let anything catch me, I promise. I hope not. Good luck. Poor girl. This sounds awful. Alright, let's go deal with the hungry gal who eats the living people and apparently controls the undead? I'm not really sure. It seems weird. And we'll just have to go, take a step of faith here and hope that she made it out. As there is literally no possible way to be sure until we leave this place. What's this say? Heritage Hills Cemetery. Well, did you know you can retrain a character from the first level through any in interface? Alright. Dinner, late night snack, and breakfast. Time for you to leave. Thank you. We'll never forget this. Alright. I assume she has something bad to say to us.
You return. What if you come seeking this time?
Apparently I just can't do anything.
A survivor. By the grace of my own careful preparations. An incredible act of animancy.
Sorry, guys and gals. Well, it does not look like I can actually do anything to her. Okay, well that's weird. Maybe they'll arrest her or something, or she plays a part later in the game. I don't know. I was assuming that she'd be like, how dare you take my meal, blah, and try to attack and kill us, but apparently, nope. She's definitely got something wrong with her. Hole in her chest and all that stuff. I mean, it's bad. It's quite bad. But apparently we've cleared everything out. I still don't know how to get into the tower. There. That's a nice man who helped me. And thank the Iron Arm for it. We'll get you sorted out at the keep. Yep, that's right. I helped.
Good day, stranger.
I see. The stench hasn't driven you away yet. What's going on in there? Both guards, awkward, look at each other. Look, even if I were allowed to tell you, I don't rightly know. All I can say is whatever it is, started about 2 months ago. The guards that closed the gate talked of something unnatural that still wakes them in the middle of the night. I don't want to know any more than that. Well, I mean, I guess I accomplished whatever I set out to do. I really don't know. I mean, I'd have to assume, right? I suppose only time will tell. Also, going back to Crucible Knights Keep, it's probably going to show us a little something about what we did. I mean, we have a whole bunch of tasks. And we are slowly accomplishing them, so I mean, there is that. Onward! Go fast mode, go! Kinda want to get like a star for Mario Kart music. I know it's a really bad rendition, but still, you get the idea. We are here. Pay us money. Or something. Now, we didn't finish going through the keep. I believe there's still a few rooms that we need to go in, talk to the leader of the Crucible Knights and all that stuff. So, there are still things to do. Obviously, there's other districts inside of the wonderful, wonderful Bay of Defiance that we still need to handle. Hey, Saeda. Saeda looks like she's had a bath and a few square meals. She smiles shyly. Oh, well, good for you. Any news from Heritage Hill? Your guards were charmed by the spirit of a woman named Lyra. I've gotten rid of her. Her tired eyes grow round. By the flame, you found her? My missing commander? She heaves a sigh and loses her gaze among the floor tiles. And she was calling to the watch from beyond the grave. It doesn't make sense, but nothing in that accursed district does. What happened to the soldiers under her spell? All your knights are dead. Train them better next time? They didn't make it. I see. Nevertheless, thank you for your help. You've left me with as many questions as answers, but at least I know what happened to my troops, and Commander Lyra. Please, accept this as a token of my gratitude. Money! And experience. If there's nothing else, I must attend to my duties. Farewell. Alright, let's go take a peek inside of our... That's great, but that's not what I wanted. I want to go here and look at our tasks. Bounty, Blade, Seals, Unwanted, Cinders, Long Hunt. There were tasks. Oh, Safe Haven, right? So we finished this. And the way back was clear. Okay. Seen Sentries, Blade of the Endless Path. Okay. Then the investigate the mysterious seal. What that appear to be in Gwithem. Perhaps I can find more information as I explore further. Alright, that's fine. Alright, we have more places to go in here and see and stuff to steal, I'm sure.
Keeping an eye out.
As that is definitely one of the things that we definitely do because, you know, we're thieves. Alright, more books that I will possibly eventually get around to reading. But also possibly eventually not get around to reading because, you know, I'm terrible. Alright, I found the Shrine of Abaddon. Huh. This is the symbol of Abaddon, a colossal smithing hammer imposed over a circular gear. It's smooth and bright with buffing oils. Well, I suppose that's probably a thing. Alright, so we've been everywhere but up in this place that we're about to go to. So let's go to this place that we're about to be up in.
We just don't have the manpower.
Of course you don't. That's what we're here for. Little did you know...
I'll see what I can find.
Yeah, we're definitely going to be picking that and stealing from you. Again, it's kind of the thing that we do. We got a fine warbow that we absolutely don't need. Disregard me and my crew. I'm just going to casually walk around the room for absolutely no reason whatsoever.
Must flow deeply indeed.
Disregard the invisible person that you clearly do not see.
My thoughts will be as silent as my... I shall do as you ask. What you ask is done.
Okay, it's just a fine sword. some stuff. Actually, one of those. Edict of Arrest added to the stash. Was a quest item, right? This edict calls for the arrest of Eorn, whose recent actions led to the death of the Crucible Knights. Okay. Say one, right? Yeah. Same edict of arrest. Okay.
Refugees from every corner of the Deerwood. The dozens getting them all riled up about animancy. At this rate, we'll need twice the soldiers to patrol Defiance Bay. Yes? Can I help you with something?
Commander Cleaver stands in front of a massive table studying a map. His expression is set in a grim frown. He opens his mouth to say something to one of his men, but he follows the soldier's gaze over his shoulder to you. Why don't you have enough soldiers?
Fleetbreaker Castle. The High Justice has summoned almost half of my novitiates, and more of my justiciars to a keep on the other side of New Haelmar.
Fair enough.
It's not for me to question the High Justice's orders, but it's left us short-handed. And mark me, we're just a couple sparks away from anarchy.
Cool. Well, with so many newcomers, can't you just recruit more soldiers? More recruits means more training, which means more time from experienced soldiers that I don't have. He half turns away from you. Anyhow, I hardly see how any of this is your concern, but if you've got the time to ask me about it, then perhaps you've got the time to do something constructive. Forge Master Dunstan is working with an animancy scholar to build what we're calling Forge Knights. Oh boy. Warriors that can patrol our streets without suffering fatigue, disobedience, or fear. Some agitator throws a rock at him. We don't have to worry about things getting out of hand. He's constructed the armor, but we need the scholar's research. Unfortunately, she hasn't been around the last few times my novitiates have checked. Viana lives with the rest of the Scriveners out in Copper Lane, but I haven't the soldiers to spare at the moment. Go to the Scrivener's dormitory and see if you can find her. When you get the research, just bring it to Dunstan. This is his area of expertise anyway. Once you brought him the research, he can sell you any arms or armor if you need. He forges and repairs all of our equipment. You won't find a more capable smith in Defiance Bay. You're in charge of the Crucible Knights? Here in Defiance Bay, anyhow, the High Justice is the leader of our order, but he's currently stationed at Fleetbreaker Castle. My job is to oversee our forces in Defiance Bay and to keep order for the Duke. Tell me about the Knights of the Crucible. He crosses his hands behind his back. Well, we're the only professional army in Defiance Bay, or in the Deerwood for that matter. We defended the city in Hadrit's day. We've improved our training since then, but Dunrid Rowe can certify that many of our officers come from good Deerwooden fighting stock. Now, we're responsible for patrolling the city and keeping the peace. With so many refugees pouring in from the countryside, that's becoming more important than ever. Unfortunately, that's earned us enemies, particularly among the dozens and some of the more enterprising families in Defiance Bay. Well, what did the dozens have against you? Well, they're demagogues and troublemakers. They forget that Defiance Bay is one of the largest cities in the world and not just some frontier outpost. Most of them are mercenaries on a good day and street thugs the rest of the time. Needless to say, they've no patience for law and order. And what about these enterprising families? House Dominal? Doeminal? I don't know. Namely, they're one of the city's oldest noble families and its largest criminal organization. I like how the music just kicks in randomly. Their patriarch, Gedmar, has been trying to take advantage of the turmoil to expand his operations. We've kept on top of him, and he hasn't been too happy about that. Well, I see. I guess goodbye. Well, I gotta go back to Copper Lane and go to the Scrivener's dormitory. And these are Justiciars? Justiciars? I got nothing. Juicy Seers, that's what they are. They are the Juicy Seers. Justice. Justiciar. I'm looking for information on Eorn. Crosses his arms and spits. Filthy little flea picker. What did you want to know? Do you know where he is? Rumors say he fled to the catacombs after he murdered the knight. As much as I'd love to string him up, I don't have anyone I can spare to go crawling around in that filth to check for him. How do you manage to kill a Knight of the Crucible? Now there's a question. Witnesses say he was drunk and arguing with a man. If I had to guess, I'd say the sneaky swine had a weapon on him and took the juicy seer by surprise. The coward ran off before anyone knew what he'd done. Do you know where he is? Rumors say. Well, that's all I wanted to know, right? What can I do for you? Nothing. Alright, so there we have it. More questing, another reason to go to the catacombs, and we have to return to Copper Lane to do Copper Lane type things. And that leaves us with two, I think? 2 more places inside of the Bay of Defiance that we have yet to go. One of those is Brackenberry, and the other is Andra's Gift. What I believe I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go get both of those tagged so we can travel there from anywhere and see where that takes us. Alright, we're going to go back to Copper Lane though, because, you know, reasons, and that's where we need to go anyway. But now all of Defiance Bay is open and available for travelation. And I believe the catacombs may be one of the last places we need to go. Could be wrong, but I feel like it's possible that that's true. We shall see. Come on. Load it just a tiny bit fast. Just a little faster. There we go. Alright. Is this the... This is not the dormitories. These are the dormitories. Over here. Let's go talk with the historian. You see a small crowd gathering near the entrance to a temple. This man stands against the wall, the crowd forming a semicircle around him. He speaks with a calm, measured tone, a soothing voice carrying out over the sounds of the surrounding city. He speaks of the world, history, the gods, and religion. He speaks of cooking, brewing, child-raising, and old wives' tales. There does not seem to be a subject he lacks at least a passing knowledge in. People ask him questions, and he answers them in turn, sometimes being detailed and in-depth, other times giving only a general answer. Regardless of what is said, all of his answers seem to hit the heart of what was asked, each person satisfied with what they've learned. People come and go from the crowd, its size growing and shrinking, but never completely dissipating. Hours pass, and he never seems to tire, sharing his knowledge with anyone who would benefit from it. As the light of day wanes, the group finally grows small enough that he draws everything to a close. As he gathers his belongings and prepares to leave, a man approaches him, asking why he does this. He asks for no money, no food. What benefit is gained from his actions? He looks at the man, gathering his thoughts, and then simply tells him, "Knowledge brings wisdom. That is my faith." Alright, Mr. Historian. Alright, we're going to stop here inside of the dormitory, and in the next episode, we'll continue running around. Like I said, I'm probably going to save the catacombs for last, maybe? There's a lot of stuff to still do. I don't know. We'll see. Either way, folks, until the very next episode, my name's Bumpy McSquigums. Thank you so much for stopping by the Freak Show, and I will see you later.